Hi, everybody. Midweek Insights. Let's talk about what we're going to cover in this video. Hot and more humid tomorrow. Heat index over 100 on Friday. That will mean scattered storms. A few of them could become damaging as a cold front comes in. That knocks us back a little bit this weekend. So we won't be as hot. Highs likely in the 80s, 70s at the coast. I've got an update on the chance of precipitation this weekend, too. You don't want to miss that coming up. Our membership community continues to grow. We are so thankful for each and every one of you. 4 different memberships to choose from. All the info you need, membership.onedegreeoutside.com. Check it out. You'll see some videos there too on the different membership levels and how to sign up. All right, across the country, big story is the heat. We've talked about this the past couple of days. 90s, heat index 110, 115 in parts of the central, southern plains, southeastern United States. 95 million people over the next couple of days under some sort of heat-related advisory watch warning, and that extends to us here in New England as well. 2 different features on the map we're eyeing too: a stationary boundary down across the southeastern United States and a front that's coming into eastern Canada and down through the Midwest and into the central plains. That will spark a number of thunderstorms, slow-moving ones. Some of those could become damaging, but the threat is elevated for flash flooding in the yellow-shaded areas for Thursday. That extends from Wichita, Kansas, all the way back up to Milwaukee and Chicago. So that's the area to keep an eye on tomorrow for some flash flooding that will result as the slow-moving boundary kind of stalls out over the Midwest during the day on Friday. That risk is elevated in those areas again as well. Meanwhile, we've got the cold front slowly slicing south on Friday, and that will trigger some thunderstorms. We'll take a zoomed-in look at those in a second. At the same time, we'll also be watching that upper-level energy, that trough, over the southeastern United States. We looked at it the last couple days. It's not really conducive for development into a named tropical system, but the National Hurricane Center puts it at a low risk, about a 10% chance of development. Remember we had that last week too with that system that came from east to west over Florida. So whether or not it becomes a named storm, still going to mean some areas of heavy rainfall, localized flooding, and the threat for thunderstorms. Highest rainfall totals from northern Florida stretching along the Gulf Coast. Meantime, for us with the cold front coming in tomorrow, the green area, severe threat for our Friday. Notice that's isolated, so not everyone's going to see a storm. Not every storm will become severe, but there's enough heat, there's enough humidity, there's enough of a trigger in the atmosphere that a few of the storms could be on the stronger side. That front is south of us on Saturday with a new area of high pressure building in. So the thunderstorm action is not too far away, but it's far enough south and west that many of us should be dry on Saturday. Some of this moisture may try to come back and sneak into western New England again by Sunday. Look at all the heat across the country, too, for the next several days. Yes, it knocks back into the 80s for many of us across the Northeast and the Midwest by Saturday. By the way, the West Coast, noticeably cooler. A lot of the eastern 2/3 of the country are baking here. All right, so let's zoom in. The cold front slowly slices south. So Friday morning to early afternoon in northern New England, the risk is greatest. And then the farther south you come, it's the afternoon to early evening. By Saturday, high pressure builds in. There may be some lingering clouds in southern New England with that front nearby. Notice most of the action well to our south and west. I can't rule out an isolated shower in southwestern Connecticut. And then by Sunday, we start dry, but some of these thunderstorms may sneak into western New England Sunday afternoon and evening. So that's one thing we'll keep a close eye on as that moisture and that humidity builds back in for the second half of the weekend. I'll show you the dew points in a second. Notice Friday, we start with sunshine. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. The heat index over 100. Clouds increase with some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm late morning to midday in far northern New England. Most of us in central and southern New England actually may squeak out a mostly dry afternoon. By the time we get to 1 or 2, a few isolated storms popping here, some scattered action across northern New England will slowly sink southward. So we'll keep an eye on the sky, northwestern horizon during the afternoon to early evening. Some deeper reds in here. So torrential downpours, some small hail, damaging wind gust potential during the day on Friday afternoon to early evening. Of course, we're still a few days out, so a difference of a couple hours in terms of the timing of this cold front would mean either we speed things up a little bit or we slow down the threat for thunderstorms. So day to be kind of on guard for some thunderstorm action, typical summertime stuff. Get our app. You can track the hourly forecast on there, pinpoint your exact location. Make sure your location and the alerts are turned on so you get any warnings that do pop up. All right, high temperatures for the day tomorrow, up around 90. Including for the city of Boston. We hold off the sea breeze tomorrow. It's a southwest wind that will be 10 to 20 miles per hour. So you'll notice the breeze. That does mean the south coast has a little bit of relief, 75 to 80, 70s along the coastline of Maine. But notice really through much of the remainder of New England, we're either side of 90 degrees. Overnight, it doesn't get that cool either. We're going to stay around 70 in most areas with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, perhaps a touch of fog along the south coast. Highs on Friday go like 92 to 98. There's still an outside shot that we may hit 100 in a couple of spots, maybe the Merrimack Valley, Metro West, perhaps even Boston. It's going to be a matter of a couple of degrees. When you factor in the humidity on top of that, the heat index soars 100 to about 105 in many areas across central and southern New England. So it's a tough day. It's a day to be kind of relaxing in the shade if you do have to be outside. Hydration key, of course, lightweight, light colored clothing. You know the drill at this time of summer when you get this type of intense heat that comes in. Friday night, 60s to lower 70s, maybe a lingering shower that ends. Notice northern Maine, northern New Hampshire. We start to get some relatively cooler air to come in and some drier air as well. Highs on Saturday in the 80s, onshore winds. So the coastline's coolest, we're warmest, 85 to 90 in some of the hottest spots in western New England. And then Sunday, 70s to lower 80s for most of us. It does turn more humid. The chance of a thunderstorm is greatest in far western New England on Sunday. Predicted dew points. Want to show you the moisture in the atmosphere. So it does get more humid tomorrow. It's not oppressive though. Dew points gradually increasing, rising through the 60s during the day on Thursday. Notice still some drier air across far northern New England. And then by the time we get to Friday, upper 60s to around 70. So it's the heat, it's the humidity. We do get a little bit of relief, you notice, that comes in on Saturday. So it's kind of this seesaw in terms of the humidity. By the time we get to Sunday, well, watch this. It does slowly start to come back up, particularly for the second half of the day. It turns more humid, most humid in western New England. Then by the time we get to Monday, it comes down just a notch, but it's still probably going to be sticky for much in New England and turns hot again. Highs will be up around or over 90 again by the time we get to Tuesday. Don't forget, you've got our merchandise. You can check it all out. Hats, t-shirts, coolers. We even have a bib on there, an umbrella, gift cards, all at swag.onedegreeoutside.com. We'll see you at the beach and boating forecast update for tomorrow, coming out in just a little while.